welcoming you all to another session on our topic on 3D printing. 3D Graphy News is a platform which has been actively working as a catalyst for information source for all the different technologies. So 3D technology, for those of you who would not know, 3D technology constitutes of 3D printing, 3D scanning, 3D imaging, 3D software, simulation, also visualization when it comes to AR and VR, because everything is going to be complementing each other. But more importantly is material science, new materials, because we see that there is a lot of key respondents who are working on new materials, creating the opportunity for various different industries, maybe aerospace, defense, automotive, shipbuilding, also dental, medical, orthotics, prosthetics. So the opportunity is wide open for respondents to come and see and gauge the possibilities, and to then work towards it to ensure that the end user gets the right product and solution. So today we are talking about an age when we are looking at mass customization with more numbers, in terms of making it very confined to what is expected for the end user. So that's the age that we are actually in. We are talking about industry 4.0, and also digital factories. So wherein you don't need to keep too much of inventories. So there is a time that we will see that you can choose a design and you can get your part, you can get your product, you can get a car printed. So I'm sure that's the age that we are getting into, and we also know that with new openings with drones and manufacturing companies who come up with manufacturing drones. Drones can be made more efficiently in terms of lighter with various different materials like carbon fiber, composites, metal, so that you have multiple materials that you can actually really work with. So today we have an opportunity to interview one of the senior respondents and veterans in 3D technology. Let me introduce Mr. Rajesh Mrithyunjayan, and who is the vice president with Monotech Systems, also heading the 3D product line and also solutions, working with the organization. Rajesh has been in this business, offering solutions and also the technology across sectors for the last almost a decade or even more with his experience. So let me now introduce you to Mr. Rajesh. Rajesh, very, very good afternoon and thanks for your time. Rajesh, just wanted to know, for the audience sake, for my understanding, I know your background, but I'm saying for the audience sake, may I ask you where did it all start? Why 3D and why 3D printing, why 3D technology? So please.
Thank you, Dr. Shibu. Our association goes a long way, and I think we started long back when I met you in a show, and we had a good interaction. And ever since, actually, I was very new at that time when we started off. And to be frank, additive manufacturing or 3D printing came by accident for me. I was in a completely different field of, I was into boilers and related to boilers. I was working there, and suddenly when I got an opportunity to be in 3D printing, I really did not know what 3D printing was, in fact. And it was a new subject that was almost 11, 12 years back. And the technology since that 11, 12 years, I've seen it grow in amazing ways. It's amazing leaps and bounds. And, normally in my career, I've seen that every 4-5 years, I used to get, bored of the technology and used to jump into some other technology. But here I have not got a opportunity to even jump out of this, because since I joined and since I am in this field, I'm seeing it amazingly grow with different materials, technologies, and it's amazing, really. And I must say it's growing even more.
So Rajesh, what are the relative technologies that currently you're offering to the customer, and who is the audience, and which are the sectors that you're working currently?
So, just continuing with the first question, when I started into additive manufacturing 11 years back, we were more into prototyping in India, like, and the technologies also which were available were more for the the prototyping sort of like SLA, SLS, and few of the technologies which were just for the prototyping. And over a period of last 6 years, we found that the technology is moving and the materials are moving from prototyping to production and production. So, but when we see that the technologies which we are into in 3D Monotech is based on our understanding of the market that additive manufacturing is not just confined to a technology or to a material or to an application, because the applications are vast and for that the material requirements are more, and it is important to be in most of them. So the technologies which we have, we have partnership with 10 OEMs, including two for reverse engineering, one for even filament making, and the others are just for 3D printing, which covers the complete spectrum of thermoplastics, thermosets, wax, composites, metals, and ceramics. So recently we forayed into ceramics as well with XJet, and we have been having partnership with Admetech before. And but with XJet we get into the production of high dense parts for ceramics, and this has been what our portfolio till now.
Okay, so as I asked you, which are the sectors, Rajesh, that currently we are focusing on? I'm sure all these technologies, and you have a buffet of and a portfolio of different products and solutions in the offering.
Yes.
So yeah, so if you can just mention each of these technologies and which sector for the audience, they probably can relate and will benefit from that.
Sure, sure. So with each of these, for example, with our thermoplastic range of products, like we have our own developed machine which is Metaform, which is a FDM 500 by 500 by 500. We have developed it in house. This goes into the prototyping and somewhat small induced parts you can do with various thermoplastics. This gets into basically the R&D houses or companies where they are looking for using some sand casting patterns, etc. Then we come to the larger parts with Graphy, which is a German company where we can do up till 1 meter by 1 meter, and this technology can be used for many tools, fixtures, gauges, large ones in the production area, or also in the large patterns which can be done, and a lot of application in terms of say even in the furniture sector, or in the in the consumer goods sector, where we could use these technologies with the type of materials they have. And they have also developed a new MXT technology which goes to the next level, where you could go to higher thermoplastics for end use parts and faster production. As you know, FDM is the oldest technology, FFF technology is the oldest, and one of the best because it uses thermoplastics, which are what being used in the regular injection molding today. But there have been limitations on the speed. Now with MXT technology from Big we are able to go to the next level. And when we come to say 3D systems, that there's a huge range of products and technologies, right from their SLA to SLS, which gets into the prototyping, and now recently with some materials on SLA and SLS, it gets into the end use parts also. And we also talk about the DLP, it's the gold standard of them now, figure 4, which can replace injection molded parts. And I'm really amazed by the materials which is developed for figure 4. And we have actually supplied to some customers where they're using it instead of some low volume parts for injection molding, smaller parts, and up till say 200 to 300 parts. It's like you don't have to go for this expensive tooling. This helps the startups who want to start up their business, but they are in the development phase and they have to do some bridge manufacturing for getting into the business. They don't have to invest into the large machines and stuff. That they could go with this technology. And from here, if we jump on to the metals, Then the metals, of course, 3D systems technology is well utilized for the medical segment. For the Flex 350 is very well known for that segment because of the vacuum technology and hence the lower O2 content in this powder, and hence you can with very very controlled atmosphere the sintering happens and the melt pool is created, and it's an excellent technology to be with for the medical segment and of course for the aerospace segments. Apart from that, we are also into the wax where we print directly in wax, and that's one of the unique technologies with 3D systems where this could be used by many foundries where for aerospace, medical, and other applications, also even in dental or few other applications where they are having a very low volume sort of requirements. They do not have to go for tooling, and we are successfully working with some aerospace-based companies for that. We are also trying to get it into the general industries for wax patterns. And moving on from there, you talk about say DLP technology. As I told you, we are also into the jewelry and dental field with DLP. We are very soon also working on zirconia-based materials for the industry, where you could directly print in zirconia for dental, which is also a very it's a big field which we are working on. And of course, with metal, you can see that we are with Meltio, which is the buzzword today because of the low cost wire based DED technology, the uniqueness of it to be it can be integrated with CNC or robot to increase the size of the parts, and being open source, a lot of different type of materials like mild steel, stainless steels, titanium, carbon steels, and many such materials which can be easily used into this. We get into a lot of huge market here where you talk about, say, even defense, aerospace, even general industries, manufacturing industries. Any type of tools, components, molds, all this could be easily achieved by this technology. And then the ceramics. Finally, when we talk about ceramics, we are getting into the dental, medical, and the defense, where there is a lot of requirement in terms of a lot of ceramic parts for various like wave filters, anything which is required for isolation or insulation. So with this, I could just say that we are into a wide spectrum of applications and industries, to put it simply, and we have the solutions for each application or each industry which we can talk about. And we could also talk about in terms of the customers' budgets, requirements, specifically for certain materials also for these industries.
Yeah. So the offerings are so wide in terms of what you're offering today. So it really means that there's a huge opportunity in terms of offering these solutions. So how is the organization structured, and in terms of offering these different solutions to different sectors, different respondents from various industries for specialized solutions that they might want to look at?
Yes, Shibu. Actually, with these sort of when we go, when we grow horizontally, it's a wide spectrum. There comes challenges about managing these applications towards the industry and setting up the resources for that. And there is also a lot of challenge in terms of getting technically qualified resources for say for metals and ceramics, which are very new in the market for as far as additive manufacturing is concerned. And it is also specifically to the application which we talk about. Say for aerospace, it's different. For general industry manufacturing is different. For medical, it's different. So it is a challenge. But how we are trying to work around this is that we have a team. So basically, now we have formed a some completely separate division, which is called 3D Monotech, and this team comprises of we have our own application engineers, we have our own design engineers. The application engineers are also split into various things, like we have one for composites, one working on polymers, and one working on metals and ceramics. So in that also we subdivided into, say, medical and industrial. So how we have to work about is, have such application team who works specifically on the industries or applications. And we also have design team. They work on the designs, because today the customers normally send us information on the regular, say, injection molded parts, regular designs, but which may not be very convenient to be printed. So we have to do some design for additive manufacturing. So we have a team of designers who work with us, and also we have our own experience center in Chennai, and a small one in Pune, where we have our own wax machine there. But in Chennai, we have a complete experience center where we have more than 19 machines with us, where we could showcase and also demonstrate our products to the industry. And we also have operations team here working on this, and churning out parts every day for the customers, to for them to understand. And this, beyond this, as a company, we are already situated in 15 centers, 15 locations across India. So as company, we are a 23-year-old company. So we do have that bandwidth to increase our where we have to be. We can easily increase, we can easily enhance our resources wherever in terms of sales and service support. So for 3D, of course, we are situated in 8 major cities now, with our sales and service support team. And this is how we have spread across. And how we also work is, on the sales front, we have a team working on new technologies specifically for the industry specific. So this is how we do it, Shibu.
That's interesting. Also, with the scale and the size that you have been able to manage and do in terms of the justifying the offerings to the end user, it's also important that we also identify new resources when it comes to students who would probably want to learn and be updated on this technology. Is there any kind of an educational program? Because I also believe that as a center offering solutions, maybe both services and the machine, it is also important to get tuned to the future aspirants to also sink in terms of their requirements going forward. Who knows, while they also take shape as an entrepreneur, they might also need this solution, or they would also want to maybe join you to work with you, because retention also will become a challenge eventually going forward, to have this. So is there a process of aligning with institutions and educational centers and colleges in terms of conducting these training programs? And I'm sure they also being a potential customer for you in terms of procurement of these machines and technology.
Yes, Shibu. So, when we started off our business in Monotech 6 years back, our idea was not just to sell machines in 3D printing, because our idea was also to increase, create an ecosystem out of into this additive manufacturing segment. So, whether it could be new applications with respect to machines, or even because we need resources. When we sell machines to some companies, they will need resources, and we cannot go around asking people. So we should do something on our own. And as a company which has been established for so many years, I think it's our duty also to be part of that and contribute something to that. So with that idea in mind, we started something called Metamorph 3D print services. It started as because we have so many machines in our place, and we used to get a lot of customers who want to, before they buy, they would like to test out the materials, parts, applications. So, and they used to maybe for few months they would want to make it. So we started this, but we realized that no, we are not here to compete with the other service providers, because we are not a service provider ourselves. So what we wanted to do is enhance this and try to create an ecosystem out of this. And we have now a few people with us who are in this field of providing support, or say sort of education. So we have to basically create an awareness, and also maybe give training to the future of our future of India, I would say. And in this respect, what we started doing 3 years back was we started working with few universities, where we also collaborated with them for some training programs. We gave some online training programs during the lockdown. Also, before that and after that, we are also aligning with few universities where we go as speakers. We give some training, short-term training. But what we saw was this was not enough to actually get them to an employable level, because this is just creating an awareness. And hence recently we have started with a complete program for additive manufacturing, a training program which is run by my colleague Shrikant. And we have developed a small training room in our facility as well, where we could like have 15 people sitting, and we could run a complete full day program for our for students or industrial ISO industries, also from employees from industries, to give them. And we have the production grade machines with us, which means we are able to actually take them through and qualify them, so that when they go to an industry, they know what to do with additive manufacturing.
Got it. So you're actually ensuring that all these aspects have been covered in terms of what in the offerings that you are currently doing. Thank you so much, Rajesh. I think you have almost covered a very large spectrum like the portfolio that you are managing today, and you've been able to touch upon each of these areas of specialization and how and also education for that matter, in terms of how you are also nurturing these minds in terms of also helping them to get the solution uh, built accordingly in terms of the company that you mentioned is Metamorph. So it's a great formulation in terms of a company offering various solutions and then finally also looking at giving the right technology to the end user. So appreciate and really thanks for your time, Rajesh, and also giving those insights. We are happy to be connected and be in touch. And thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, Rajesh. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shibu. Thank you for this.